हरिओम नमस्कार। हम आप सभी का इंडिपेंडेंट रिसर्च एक सोसाइटी की आयुष समृद्धि इंटरनेशनल वेबिनार सीरीज के 1831वें पड़ाव पर पुनः स्वागत करते हैं। वी वुड लाइक टू वेलकम यू ऑल ऑन ट्राइबल लाइफ challenges. Today we are celebrating International Day of Rural Women. To all rural women in the world, we would like to congratulate them and would like to communicate our sincere regards and thanks for their extraordinary job on the field also, at the house also, everywhere. In comparison to our urban sedentary life, rural woman has not received so fortunate luck that she can take rest like urban women. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sakat ji. Thank you very much, Madam Suparna ji. You have accepted our proposal, and rather I can say our inspiration for this title and concept is Dr. Sakat Kumar Basu. I would like to communicate my thanks and regards to Dr. Sakat Basu for inspiration regarding tribal life. So thank you very much. I would like to invite
Thank you.
Professor Agnihotri ji for stage coordination and मैं अब सुबह कल एग्जाम है पहला, आज दुआ कीजिए कि सक्सेस हो और वो भी रिसर्च इतना है। तो अग्निहोत्री सर
वो लिख के दे देंगे कि द एग्जामिनर इज बेटर देन एग्जामिनर, और कोई चारा नहीं है। कई बार कई बार उम्र से छोटे लोग आएंगे, अनुभव से छोटे लोग आएंगे तो उन्हें कहना होता है। एनीवे, द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक इज हियर, एंड डेफिनेटली as you are telling, we can say that Dr. Saket Kumar Basu ji and Madam Suparna Sanal Mukherjee, they are the script writer, director, actor, and whole soul means
Namaskar.
whole soul in charge of creating the topic, narrating the topic, and commenting about the topic with fullest of justice and approach and support. So, in these words, of course, there are so many women which are there in rural areas and not seen even any dawn of the day or urban life. They are spending their life with collecting the dry sticks and of trees and collecting, getting water pails from the far off places, either on hills areas or in the deep side, not managing the hygienic, not thinking of the hygienic conditions which are there, sophisticated life in urban areas and malls and other covered towns and metro cities. But they are struggling and they are maintaining their life and developing and maintaining their cadre. And we are proud of them that from their side also, our now in our Indian politics, Indian games, Indian so many fields, they are coming forward and making their recognition and making their say marks, uh, cooperating with the developing Bharat. With these words, I invite Dr. Saket Kumar Basuji to please comment to a special approach over this very topic, as you have spent a lot of hours, times, years related to these women in the tribal areas or the rural areas. Dr. Saket Basuji, namaskar. Yes. Or madam would like to speak first.
Okay, I have no problem.
Yes. You please start with. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Again, I have come here to share the tribal life and challenges, especially the rural areas. So this is very interesting, and I really like this topic. And my research is based on the tribal people. My work is based on the tribal people. I have explored in my student life, master's life, PhD level. And till today, I am exploring various types of tribes in India. But I also have the ambition to study the aborigines of the Western world, but I haven't get the scope. But still, I have the very much inquisitive, and I used to read about them. So, especially if we can emphasize the human history in the, the world science or world communities are concerned with the rise and fall of the societies, civilizations, and the cultures, the tribe has to be identified. So, it is the fact that we all were tribe in some day, and we have civilized and we are maintaining the urban life than the developmental life. The tribe, which is the integral to grasping and the evolutionary of humanity from small social groups to the complex modern society. The tribes is derived from the Latin word known as the tribus, which originally denoted a division within the Roman state. However, in the context of the anthropology and sociology, the tribe is a social group that extend before the development of or outside of the states. Tribes from the bedrock upon and the which societies and the cultures have this explored, yet they are often misunderstood. They are not being understood by the urban people. They are yet being misunderstood till today in this modern 21st century. The term tribal and the Adivashi creates an integral of half-naked men and women. So in our mind, and we always think that they have the wielding arrows and spears, and they wearing feathers on their heads and speaking an unintelligible language. So even as the majority of the world's communities continue to change their lifestyle to keep up with the world's progress, but there were communities that remained true of their, allowing them to live the harmony with nature and their unpopulated and unpolluted environment. So they are very close to the nature. The so-called civilized world label these communities as natives or uncivilized people, aboriginals, adivasis, tribals, indigenous, uncontacted people, and many other such terms. In India, they are commonly referred to the Adivasi or the Girijans or the natives. These terms are basically using for them. But be it social or technological, the problems faced by the tribals in India since decades. They are educationally backward and face numerous social and religious troubles, and they are in poverty and go through exploitation and forced displacement with several health issues. Every day, new tribal problems emerge throughout the India. The tribal people always, it has been estimated that the 104 million and they are covered 8.61% the population according to 2011 census. And this, the central tribal belt sketching from the Rajasthan to West Bengal have the highest concentration of indigenous people. More than half the scheduled tribes population live in the Madhya Pradesh, then Chhattisgarh, then Odisha, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and the Gujarat. The Article 342 in our constitution, which has been identified almost 700 scheduled tribes spread across various states and union territories. Many tribes are found in multiple states. The Odisha and Madhya Pradesh have the most scheduled tribes, and Santas, Gongs, the Veels, Khasis, Bhutias, Angmanis, then the Great Andamanis are some India's major tribal groups. And each of these tribes has its own unique culture, language, tradition, and way of living life. Many more such tribes in the country live away from the mainland. Many such ethnic groups are there in India who are not yet qualified for their scheduled tribe status, and that is the reason they have not been officially recognized yet. So there is various issues for the tribal, life and the tribes of India. The scheduled tribes have the primitive characteristic, distinct culture, geographical isolation, signish of contact with their larger community, and backwardness. As a result, they face numerous challenges throughout their life sustainability. Tribal problems in India are many, with various social, religious, educational, and health related issues. The tribes are always neglected, but we forgot that we were tribe once day, and we have come across our journey, and we have reached to our modernity. Now, there are several educational issues like the literacy rate is very low. The scheduled tribes is in for 8.53% in 1961 and 58%, 96% in 2011. So the rate of population explosion has happened, but at the same time, the literacy rate is deteriorating. Accordingly, the literacy rate is not being increased. It has been the Sarvashika vision is there. There is the several items are there for the getting education, but the people are not interested to get into the school because they don't have the idea to get into the proper development because they are very shy in nature, and they maintain their backwardness, and they are being as they are. It is their fate and fortune, whatever you may say, but they are not yet been interested to get into the modernity. But we people have to incorporate them into the modernity according to their knowledge and courage. So dropout rates among the tribal students are very high, and the higher education suffers as this it's very higher education is very low. In case of the dropout rate, 73% of class 10, then the 84% in class 11, and 86% is class 12. So the recent Human Rights Watch report that principal of one of the school in Uttar Pradesh, then the Shambhodar district, which is the state that tribal children were a big problem for their educational purpose because they are not interested to get into the education, proper education. They are not interested for their, they are not living their traditional life. They are not, they have the prejudice because especially the girl child, they should not go to the school because they have to get married. Early marriage is also happening in that case. So that's why their children are suffering is a malnutrition. They are not in the proper state of living. At the same time, the religious issues are also there. The tribal people believe in various parts of the India, like there is a untouchability. They raise many questions in the minds of young educated people. The tribal culture is undergoing a revolutionary change as they contact other cultures. The tribal people watch Western culture in many aspects of their social lives while they are abandoning their own culture. That's why we have seen that there are so many tribal people has been converted in the different religion. This is the main cause because they are untouchable in the society, and they are getting better opportunity with the other religions. It has resulted in the decline of tribal life and tribal arts such as the dance, music, and various types of craft. The social issues are also very important in that case. Is the child marriage among the tribes is still continuing. In the rural areas, the tribal people are child marriage is happening, and it practiced in various states like the Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, which is the continuously wrong, and constitution wise it is also wrong and has many negative consequences. Some Himalayan tribes practice polyandry and polygamy. So this polyandry and polygamy polygamy is also prohibited in the modern system, but the tribal system, it is also continuing. Such practices are not accepted by the mainstream society. In that cases, the infanticide, this is the homicide and the animal sacrifice, the black magic, wife shopping, and this other harmful practices are still practiced by tribes, which are considered a significant tribal problem in India. And language is also one of the barriers to tribal education system and the promotion of this tribal education. Then the health issues is also very negligible, because the health problem is suffering. The tribal people are mostly suffering from the health problems in this rural women and the child, those who are surviving today. There are questionable issue among the tribal population in terms of the healthcare. One of the weakest links in public health services to scheduled tribes. The lack of healthcare personnel who are willing, trained, and equipped to work in scheduled areas is a significant barrier to providing public healthcare to tribal populations. The public healthcare system is scheduled areas. There is a shortage, then there is a very absentees. There is a apathy among the doctors to go into the rural areas, then the nurses, the technicians, and the managers. So the tribal people are suffering from this, causes and this healthcare problems. And the near complete absence of this participation of scheduled tribes people of their representatives in the shaping policies, making plans, or implementing services in the health sector is one of the reasons for inappropriately designed and poorly organized and managed healthcare in scheduled areas. So the medical insurance coverage, such as the Shastro Bima Yojana, are very low in scheduled areas. Therefore, the scheduled tribes people live without any insurance, any protection towards catastrophic and the acute illness. The infant mortality rate among the tribal people is estimated to be between 44 to 74% and 1,000 live births. So at the same time, the tribal people, it has been also observed that the consumption of tobacco and the alcohol, it is also very high, because the expert committee, which has been observed in 2014, that the men aged between 15 to 55 or 54 years consume a lot of tobacco, either smoking or chewing. Tobacco use was prevalent in approximately 72% of the scheduled tribes areas and 56% of non-scheduled tribes areas, respectively. So it has been observed that they are also deteriorating. The health system is also deteriorating due to the tobacco intake. Alcohol consumption is also a part of many tribal communities. The alcohol taking is a social rituals. On a national level, it is noted that the approximately half of the scheduled tribe men, 51%, consume alcohol in some forms. So tobacco was consumed by the approximately 73% of the scheduled tribe, and 60% of the urban counterparts. But it has been observed that the scheduled tribe also taking the alcohol in the special states like Mizoram, then the Bihar, then the West Bengal, Odisha. People are taking so many types of this tobacco and alcohol. So their health is deteriorating. They life expectancy is very less just because of these causes, and they are also suffering from the malnutrition, the poverty and indebtedness. The majority of tribes are they are below poverty line. The tribes engage in a variety of simple occupation based on the rudimentary technology, and majority of the occupations are primary occupations such as the hunting, gathering, and the agriculture. The technology they utilize for such purposes is of the most base bias such an economy is concerned. There is no the surpluses. So what is happening? These tribal people are getting endangered, and they are threatened now because socio-economic conditions is very lack, and socio-cultural aspect is also very dangerous situation. because though they have the traditional economic system, but this traditional economic system they are very equipped on. But when the modernization has come, and there are so many act policies, the private sectors act, so many things has been happened, so they are not accustomed to this because they are living the natural areas, and where they are very free to the nature, and they can live their life very smoothly. But though they are very close to the nature, but this nature and according to their very sustainable equipment which they are not getting properly, so they are getting deteriorating, and their health status is deteriorating, and their life expectancy is also deteriorating. As a result, their per capita income, especially the tribal people, is much, and some much lower than the Indian overall Indian people as such. And the majority live in extreme poverty, and they are in debt to local money holders and jamindars. Basically, the middleman is also getting money from them, and they are giving the oath that they will give the provide the opportunities to them, but they are not giving any opportunities when they are getting money from them. But how they are getting money, because it is very tough to them to acquire money. So that's why these people are exploiting every day and everyday life, especially the women. They are also exploiting different types of middlemen, and they are not getting proper benefit. They are not getting proper food. They are not getting proper nutrition, not education, not socio-cultural aspect, not the socio-economic parameters. So nothing is there. So they are endangered. Though the government has the policies, and government is every year there is sanction, the various amount has been sanctioned for this tribal people, tribal women development, but very little has been reached to the actual users. The actual people, it is very less. It is very less to getting to reach to them, because there are so many AWASH Yojanas like Indira AWASH Yojanas, then the other youth generation, the economic system was there. But in that case, it has been observed that there is a Lodha village. Those are entitled for their home, that one BHK, like one bedroom, one kitchen, one bathroom, and one living room. So the people, those who are giving priority to enroll the people, they have to give deposit the 25,000 rupees for the middleman. Those middlemen, if think that these people are suitable for uh, the panel list, and they, if the people can give the 25,000, then only they can give the opportunity in the panel list. But what has happened afterwards, these people, they don't have the 2,500, how they will get the 25,000 rupees. They used to take the debt, and in debt they have to submit the interest portion. This 25,000 rupees, they have to give the interest, the 3%, 4%, 5%, it is depend upon. So when they collected the money and submitted to the middleman, so afterwards it has been happened that the panelists, from the panel list, their name is not there, because it is not yet been provided that particular person. It has happened various villages in every parts of the country, not only the West Bengal. It is also happened in Bihar, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, whatever. So in that cases, the actual user, those who are entitled for getting their home, they have no other way except the suicide. So this type of suicidal cases has happened every year in every states and every aspects and every parts of the India. So we are not incorporating. We know that tribal are in distress, but we are not looking after them. We are not giving them any kind of opportunity. That's why they should come out in the proper system, proper living. It is a very painful aspects that we are we people are living in a democratic society, and we have the right to live. Each and every individual has right to live. If I have the right to live, whether you have the right to live, so they must have the right to live in the proper fashion and manner, because they are the fellow citizens of us, and we are just dissuading them in each and every aspects of their life, like the education, like the food, like the health, like the shelter, like the socio-economic purpose, socio-cultural aspects, and every types of matter they are dissuading by the people at large, not only the government as such, but the people at large, because we people are educating ourselves, but we don't have the basic senses. We have forgot that we were the tribes some one day, and we have come the civilized society not in a single day. So we have to provide them the time. The time is needed for them also. So we should extend our hands for them, because they are the heritage of us. They are the heritage of our society, the India. So India is unity in diversity. So in that cases, we should extend our warm hands to them for the development aspects. In that way, there is an opportunity to develop. We have explored one of the particularly vulnerable tribal group, because the government of India has been identified the 75 such kind of tribal people is a particularly vulnerable tribal groups, out of which the Dongria Kond of Odisha is one of them. This Dongria Kond is very innocent people. They have their own territorial Niki. They are surviving in their own territorial Niki, like the Niyamgiri Hills. And this Niyamgiri Hills and the Odisha, like the Kalahandi and Raigada districts cover this hills area. And these people was the fighter. These people are restore our environment. These people has restore our traditional. These people restore our several types of natural environmental species and plants and animals' life. So in that cases, there is a Vedanta project. There has been fought for that, and of which the Apex Court giving the order in 2013, of which they have owned the. They have Apex Court honored their sentiment that to protect the Niyam Raja, because they think that this Niyam Raja, the Niyam God, is providing and allowing them to survive in this world. So we should not forget that. It is there the a little bit of sentiment, how intellectual they are. Because if the mining project was started, the total environment would be smashed. There is no greenery as such, because this is the natural resource area like the bauxite. The bauxite mine is also very dangerous for this natural environment. So when they restore the environment, when they are the social engineer, because they know the each and every corner of the environment, the society, how they develop and how can restore, they are the better known than us. So it is our responsibility to restore them accordingly. That they are threatened now. So this is the one documentary film is coming. It will be releasing very soon at Nandan 3 on 20th October. And so I am giving and welcoming all the guests over here, the listeners and the dignitaries who are present here. So please come and see the movie, how they are living and how a legal matter, the socio-legal matter, can dissuade these people, how they are living in this 21st century. We are the civilized people are basically dissuading them. We are not giving any type of importance, any type of sentimental orientation for them, because they had right to live in this society. So this is the very touching and very interesting movie, which is coming very soon. Thank you very much. And thank you, the AYUSH Samriddhi, for giving me such an opportunity to say something on this aspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so
What
much.
is the, Agnihotriji, what is the name of the movie?
A tribe
Oh.
lost beyond oblivion. A tribe lost beyond oblivion.
Oh my God.
Beyond. So it is going to release on 23rd of October this year.
20th, 20 October.
20th
Yeah.
October.
Where would it be released first?
Yes,
Super-
yes, sir.
Where would it be released first?
Yes, sir. This is the. It
Going
is.
to where?
In
It
Kolkata,
is-
sir.
This is going to be first releasing first.
Where at? Where at,
Yes, sir.
Suparna ji?
हाँ
Where at? कहाँ रिलीज हो रहा है?
अरे
कोलकाता।
वेस्ट बंगाल कोलकाता में.
अच्छा, is it a Bengali film?
No, English. In English, but there is a Hindi is there, Oriya language is there, also translating also there.
But the English version is going to be released in Kolkata.
Yes, sir.
In any other region, like for example, for my reach of Telangana?
Yes, it can be transmitted from the any version, any language, but there is a English version is also there for translation. Translation portion is also there. Because when I talk to the people, the local people, the Dongria Kont, they don't understand any kind of Hindi, Oriya. They speak the Kui language. This Kui language, there is no script as such. So the Kui, we should not know, and they only understand the Kui. So we have speak. There is an interpreter who also translated sometimes some cases, but also this is the system, the symbolization. When the two people are not known with each other, the two community. So they are the community and I am the community. So in that cases, they are very dangerous in the behavioral nature. At the same way, they are very good people as such. They are very innocent and shy in nature. So, but if there is something wrong going to them, so they will be ferocious to you. So this situation we have faced, there is a challenge. This is the challenge, especially the travel challenge which we have. Our team has been faced, and we have reached over there, and we have spent the day with them. And there is a shooting, and they really cooperate us with each and every manner. So there's a very good movie, and you can know how they are living and what is their situation and what is their conditions right at this moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And it's a pleasure to welcome Madam Sutapa Vardhanji also to this platform. She just joined our platform. So welcome, ma'am. And now I would like to invite Dr. Saket Kumar Basuji for the same tribal topic, the tribal life challenges pertaining to the women community of our country. So welcome,
Thank you.
Dr. Saket.
Thank you, Agnihotriji. We had a wonderful discussion and an interaction. First, on behalf of AYUSH Samriddhi platform, as a member of this platform, I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations and best wishes to Suparna Madam for her documentary, A Tribe Lost Beyond Oblivion, to be released on 20th of October in the prestigious Nandan complex in South Kolkata. So this is the global premiere of the movie. I am very proud that this has been a long-term dream, and it has come after a long, hard work. And she had to work very hard for getting the sponsorship and stuff. So finally, it has come to its point, and I definitely think that this movie is definitely going to make a mark. I do not know, like I know now that Pawanji has moved back to Bhopal. Had he been Kolkata, I would have liked to make him the chief guest. So there would have been an opportunity of an AYUSH platform integrated there too. But Pawanji flies like a fish. He's here and he's there, and then he's again there. So
He
nonetheless,
got back to Gopal.
Yes. Had he been a few more days, we would have captured him on a net and put him on the stage also for the release of the movie. It would have been very nice because he represents Ayush Samriddhi and he has been supporting so many subjects and disciplines. So it is great. Thank you so much. I am just going to add from an international. Madam has given an outstanding view of the condition of the tribals, the condition of the Aboriginal people in India. But are there no tribals in other countries? Like, are there primitive people or Aboriginal people in other countries too? Like, not much so far in Europe now, because Europe, the continent, has modernized. Even those who recognize themselves as tribes, they come from a very little populated country in the Lapland, Norway, Denmark, and other areas, where this tribal culture is still there, but they are not considered anymore as a tribe in that part because they have, joined the mainstream of the life. But if you look into the rest of the world, other than the continent of Antarctica, there is tribals or these ancient people living in every continent. If you look into Greenland, we have the Eskimos or the Inuits. If you look into the northern part of Canada, northern part of United States, particularly, Yukon, Alaska, and those areas, whether they are part of Canada or whether they are part of United States, they have various tribal groups, various Aboriginal communities who live there. One of the best known is what we call Eskimo, and who make their igloos and lives in the Arctic region. Well, the actual term recognized is not Eskimo; they are actually called Inuits. That's the recognized term. Eskimo is a colonial word, just like today in this world we cannot say a black people as a negro because the n word has been confiscated, and it under section of law, if anyone uses the n word, he's liable to be prosecuted by the law. So Eskimo is a word that is no longer used. It's a colonial term used. Actually their tribal name is Inuit group. They have their own language and stuff. So across North America, whether it is United States, Canada, Mexico, across Central and South America, across Australia, and across Africa, we have innumerable number of tribes. But as Madam has highly nicely put, the plight or the status of the tribals in India is not good. Same is in other countries, whether it is Canada, whether it is United States, whether it is Mexico, whether it is South America. Everywhere the tribal communities are being pushed and they have been marginalized. Say, for example, if you look into Brazil, that country has a substantial marginal population of various tribal groups, and they live in the Amazonian area. Over the time, they have pushed these helpless tribal communities to the edge. Their land, killed them. Same in case of USA and Canada. Just like, if you look into India's history, strange coincidence that wherever there is tribal region, there is this Maoist issue. If you go into north groups and stuff, and you will see that there is this lots of infiltrated groups, lot of terrorist groups, and time and again they come and cause traditional troubles in India. Now, why is this happening? Definitely there are foreign powers, there are foreign countries who want to take advantage of the chaos of the problem, or people who are not happy to create a problem in the country. But if you look very genuinely into these tribal people's life, whether in India or abroad, you will see that these helpless people are extremely simple. They follow a very primitive lifestyle. They are very happy with very simple things in and around their environment. They're not asking for very much. But unfortunately, whether in India or other countries, whether even in Western countries, they have been exploited to the fullest, to that extent that many tribes have been wiped out. I have been in many presentations on the Ayush platform, and Sharmaji and Agnihotri have seen that I have repeatedly mentioned these species of animal or this bird is getting extinct or they have become endangered. We don't know that around the world, various Aboriginal communities are either extinct or at the verge of extinction. I'll give an example from Amazon, Brazil. I don't remember the name of that particular tribe, but there is only one man left. He does not believe the modern civilized people. He has dug a hole. He lives there. He has reached substantial age, and he does not want to take any help from the government. Completely isolated, but lives under the soil. Goes back and collect his resources that he needs from the forest, and he is the individual. It reminds me of the famous American novel, The Last of the Mohicans, to the last. For example, in Canada also, the tribal lands have been taken country. They were killed, they were tricked, and they were butchered and they were slaughtered. And many times, by signing a treaty into segregated areas called nations, tribal nations or aboriginal nations, and within them the government provide them with some money. But that money is mishandled by the people who are the chief or who are the tribal heads of that particular community. They share the money. There is rampant corruption. There is rape. There is violence, family violence. There is child molestation and whatnot. Is because their entire society has been soaked in alcoholism, and the white man particularly introduced alcoholism in them so that they became so engrossed with this over the land. Look into many North or you name the province of Saskatchewan in Canada, Yukon, or
प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ, म्यूट हो गया।
मिनट। हाँ, आप सुन सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, आप ठीक है, ठीक है।
Can you hear me? Okay,
हाँ,
okay.
yes, it's
Now, for
okay,
a moment,
fine.
the internet was disrupted, but all over there is this story of this land being taken. Vancouver, right? The 10 best cities in the world at any time. Toronto and Vancouver. Can you hear? Can you hear now? Okay. So Vancouver and Toronto, these two famous places. Vancouver is also an Aboriginal, a tribal name. When the English people first came into this area, they realized by looking into this that this is a wonderful place for settlement and establishing a port city. And today, Vancouver is one of the finest port city of the world, the best. Its huge expanded area, richness is so much, even Canadians cannot now afford to live within the Vancouver area. The cost of houses and building and the services are so high. But at one point of time, when the colonial British came for the first time, they moved from village to village, killing every coastal communities that used to live there, down to their last child. We talk about civilization. Someone mentioned about Western education and values. Truly, they have created butchers who have gone to other countries and plundered their wealth and slaughtered them and almost wiped them out of extinction. Several small tribes living on the coastal part of Canada, whether on the Pacific side, both in United States and Canada, or on the Atlantic side, they have been completely wiped out. Their history has been removed. If you go to the Vancouver National Museum, you will be able to see how many different tribes have become completely extinct. Even if we look into India, there are many tribes, even within India, that are down now to only 100 people, 130, 120, 50, 70. If you look into the Andaman group of islands and the tribals living there, the numbers are dwindling. Generation after generation, they are having significantly less number of people. Sentinelese, Great Andamanese, their numbers have vanished very drastically. So while we say that this mammal, this bird, or these species have become endangered, many of our fellow citizens, many of these Aboriginal communities are either critically endangered or almost extinct or at the verge of extinction. This is indeed shows a reflection of our humanity around the world, where hundreds and thousands of communities, small tribal communities, small Aboriginal communities living in the forest or the forest fringe areas or desert areas or in isolated remote locations away from human civilization, completely isolated from modernization, are slowly becoming extinct. With respect to pollution, with respect to human infiltration, with respect to, taking over land from these helpless people because they do not talk in the same language. There is different, their religion is different, their heritage is different. They are being pushed, marginalized, and isolated. Not just the case of India, this is happening around the world. Tribals around the world are getting endangered. Only a few tribal members here and there may have become successful, as you could see that there is reservation and protection provided to the scheduled tribe and working in respectable positions. But a vast majority under uneducation, and they're exploited imaginable, whether in India or outside. Why have been exploited so severely by people living around them that they had no other resort but in order to take up the guns. And then there are fringe elements who take advantage of their helplessness and take them into their fold and make them anti-national. So this is sad. Beyond every this infringement that we see in India, there is a socio-economic history of tears of people, of blood of people that we do not get to see. So indeed, tribals constitute a very valuable heritage of India, as Madam has very nicely pointed. At one point of time, each one of us has inherited and come from some tribe or other in some part of the world. Every one of us has some gene of some tribes in our genome. We could not ignore that. So with this modern aspect of civilization, what we think has become a big part is not really true. It's not really true in the sense that we are seeing the end of humanities in some communities in the same time that we are living. If they are vanishing today, is it going to be late for us tomorrow? Or are we going to be vulnerable like them tomorrow? It is our duty to protect our fellow citizens. It is our duty to protect our tribal communities. It is, first of all, more important to know our tribal communities. Very few people, anthropology is not taught, at least at the school level, in any Indian university. I mean, any Indian boards, whether CBSE, ICSE, or state boards, there has been some incorporation of tribal studies being integrated. Say, for example, Agnihotriji, when we studied history of India, like when you are a standard 10 student or when you passed standard 11, did you had any knowledge of the history of tribals in this country? We talked about India's freedom struggle. We know about Aurangzeb. We know about Mughals. We know about Sher Khan. We know about Kutubuddin Aibak. We know about Alexander. But do we know how Santals originated in India? Who are the ancestors of Santals? Kons, Gons, Maria, Muria, Great Andamanis, Nicobaris, Ongis, Jarwas. We'd have no knowledge of that history in those particular days. Nothing about the tribal communities was ever taught to us. Only in recent time, it is very shameful that only in very recent time, and that also very insignificantly, kids are getting to learn about our tribal heritage and culture. Very few of us know about the tribal art, like how much these tribal arts sell in how many thousands of dollars in foreign countries. We have no ideas. But these invaluable tribal art, tribal music, tribal literature, tribal ethnic, medicinal knowledge of the tribes about medicinal plants and animals are vanishing as more and more of these people are getting, evaporated from our society in front of our own eyes. We are looking, the government has lots of projects. Unfortunately, as Madam said, that this is not percolating downwards. They are middlemen who are consuming the bulk, and only a very small part is reaching to the most people who need this support. And the healthcare is like, you have to have an entire separate presentation for the tribal healthcare and this scenario and situation, both in India and abroad. It is devastating. They get absolutely no medical facilities. Absolutely no, nothing. With this, I conclude my presentation. And thank you, Agnihotriji, Sharmaji, for Ayush to provide us with a non-connected subject to highlight the plight of the tribals on this platform so that we get to, disseminate a little bit of education and awareness about our tribal friends and our fellow citizens for all our participants and leaders. I'd like to end by making a small comment. Is like, one of our distinguished guests mentioned before that like Western education is more materialistic. They can produce a lot of scientists, but not good quality humans. And Indian education produces the best quality of human. I mean, every education system in every corner of the world has positive sides and negative sides. I mean, there are incidences where American students are coming to the school with guns and they're shooting other fellow students and stuff. And there are a lot of sociological reasons why these are happening. I'm not going to this, but let me ask you this question, well, for the audience. I mean, I'm not asking any individual, that how come allopathic doctor who is trained in India has never visited a foreign country, entirely trained in the education system, is charging humongously, putting patients who are already dead in super specialty hospitals in the ventilators so that they can extract money from the patient party, recommending medicines provided by the medical representatives of various medical companies 20 to 30 times more higher prices, and recommending medical tests that is not essential and even at higher cost from designated medical centers where they get commission. Was this knowledge transmitted from Western countries into India? Or this was an Indian indigenous knowledge where we had inhuman people? I'm not saying every doctor is a monster, but this inhuman education system has been generated in India. It did not came from America. It did not came from Mars. It did not came from Australia. The second question is, this does not happen in Western countries. There is no doctor who will recommend on the basis of a medical practitioner or will recommend tests because you are getting a commission. This does not happen in those countries. The second is our engineers, like from various premier institutes, including IITs, are coming up with bridges. Well, I mean, Indian engineers are engineers in having bridges without cement. But when these bridges collapse, and the engineers who are involved in this, who have got so much cut money in removing all the poor quality materials that you can get a substantial bridge, which is a serious threat to public, safety. Where does the ethics of education come to these engineers? Where does the ethics come to these people who are building these bridges, who are blocking, who are collapsing and killing hundreds of people who are traveling at that particular point of time? Who will respond to this unique indigenous education system, which was never influenced by any Westerners, to cheat your own fellow citizen, to exploit as much money from and suck the blood of ordinary citizens and make myself more worthy and more rich? Was this given by Western education, or this is Indian value education system that has generated these monsters? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sakatji. You have shown a very deep situation pertaining not only in our country, all over the world, and you also informed the status of tribals international level, while as Sanyal Madam talked about the Indian system. What you talked about a few tribes, whether we are known or not, what have been taught by the historians in our early school timing, say 6th to 12th. But a few things were very vital and important. We learned about those tribes like Bhil, Kol, and Santhal. And if we go back of Treta Yuga, that when Lord Ram was on exilement and they were on the way to, say, forest, passing through this area of Nishadraj and then Chitrakoot. You see how intelligent they were. We don't know that in which language they were communicating with their own races and their own families, but they were intelligent enough that to check the attitude of Lord Bharat, they offered non-veg and veg both, so that the nature and the hidden agenda of the motto going to Chitrakoot with full army be checked. So they were intelligent enough, but their habitat and their site, their education, their edibles are very limited. They were using Kandamul Phal, and they offered very honestly to the Lord Rama and Sita Lakshman, and saying that we are so uncultured and we are not seen even any good thing, that is it not sufficient, or is it not satisfactory that we are not snatching away your utensils and the dresses and garments? We are so uncultured and we are so underdeveloped, and this is our utmost fortune that we are seeing you, and you are showing your affection, your love, your affinity, and your closeness to our uncultured and uncivilized and unseen urban life, or the kingdom, say, status of the lords. But we are receiving you, and you are equally meeting me and giving your sneh and accepting whatever we are offering you, that too in a leafy containers, or the dona, etc., etc. So we were so rich as far as the tribals' nature, dedication, qualities are concerned. Whatever the atmosphere, whatever the habitat they were having, they were enjoying and they were managing themselves. Of course, today we are uh, uh, developed enough, but I don't think whether towards which direction. The barbarism is with us, and the human essence is lacking to the maximum percentage. So there are so many things, and if we believe of our that type of Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga's histories and existence, we had been having such great personalities, not been well polished by the urban essence or the urban framework. Thank you so much, Dr. Saket Kumar Basuji, Madam Parnaji, Madam our Sutapaji also, and our revered Dr. Jagdish Shutomaji for giving so much cooperation and support and sparing so much important time to much more late and just quarter to 12. So with these words, I again say extend our thanks.
Agnihotriji, can
Yes,
I
sir,
draw
sir.
attention for a while? One single line for education, that is Sa Vidya Vimuktaye. This is the title of education, because Ananda Marga has got a section, EROS, Educational Relief and Welfare section. That was the first established by Anandamurtiji, what he has given as an evidence in the court of law, that he is the founder of EROS. So many departments are there. During emergency, 24 organizations were banned. Out of them, 14 were from Ananda Marga. 14 from, and 10 from lefts, and RSS and Jamaat Islami. Out of 26 organizations, 14 were Ananda Marga branches. While signing that, at that time, President, he was asking that what all these organizations, what these 14 organizations, the left organizations were known to them political purview, but these were not well known for them. Then Indira instructed that you put simple signature on that to ban. That's all. Because a lot of information is there. Actually, emergency was meant to extinguish Ananda Marga only. Many people are not knowing, and they are making their drums beat. But it was only meant because before that there was much coverage from intelligence area agencies to extinguish. And I think Dr. Basu Saikat is present. Dr. Saikat Basu, the book name I am giving, Neo-Humanism, given by Anandamurti ji, Navyamanavataavad. So many things are covered. What today's subject is also being included in that. That is why lot of information is there, but at every moment I am thinking that I congratulate, and I felt excellent that how Dr. Basu could collect about Salarjung Museum also. They only his presentation I saw in a video, that Salarjung Museum that I visited when I was studying as 7th class or like that. Salarjung Museum. By that time only so many were that means lifted up from that museum. So many valuables. Thank you very much. Not to
thank you, sir. Thank you for your joining so late. Really, you informed that video which has been put in our group by Saket Dasuji. I had an occasion. It's a pleasure that I have an occasion to visit Salarjung Museum way back in 1974. I think 50 years back, when I was returning from Shanti Nilayam Puttaparthi to our UP, Agra and Farrukhabad. I visited, and I was just amazed to see so long coat and jacket, and one important clock which was being say struck by the one parrot or some bird. and there was an alarm of that pendulum. So it's very good. And at the same time, what you talked about, this is very, very important. And that is the essence of our education of the Gurukuls and Vedas. That ya vidya sa vimukte vidya amritam ashnute. So that was the vimukti from the whole this samsaric or the bhautik jagat, and get the attainment regarding the what the real existence, what is Brahm, etc., etc. And when it will be means coverage of vibhukti, then from what? From such lust and such attachment. That was the real education. That was the real say part of the knowledge which was given in those Gurukul Parampara. Thank you so much for all persons, all gentlemen who joined, and our respected Suparna ji, Sutapa ji, and all the guest speakers of all our four this webinars of today evening. And we are really feeling very much honored by your joining and by your suggestions and knowledge. Thank you so much, and Shubharatri. Sabhi ko namaskar.
By the time I gave the information about the book, I think Saikat left. That I have seen.
It's a late hours, and we are connected since 8 o'clock. So he has attended. He has given 2 guest speeches on today's 2 webinars. So I request Professor Pankaj, please call off this webinar and put off the recording. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Phone करना